I am Marlene Peralta. Even though addiction to technology is not yet a recognized psychological condition by doctors, many studies suggest that its effects are similar to that of a drug addict.
If a person cannot say goodbye to their controller or their phone or their iPad or turn the computer off for 1 to 2 hours a night, then I think you really have to ask yourself, what is my relationship to the technology? A typical scenario that I unfortunately see a lot, which is boys, again in middle school and high school age, physically fighting with both their mothers and their fathers, getting physically aggressive, punching, grabbing, hitting, jumping on their backs when the parents attempt to do something that they feel is in the best interest of their son or daughter, which is to disconnect them from the technology.
Dr. Fraser emphasizes that just using the internet or social media doesn't make people automatically addicted.
It's not the video games, it's not the internet, because if it were, we would all be addicted and we all would have a hard time turning it off and saying no. What I've found is that there are children, teenagers, young adults who I think are at greater risk for having a compulsive relationship with technology. And those are people who are depressed or anxious, who may feel lonely and isolated, and who may be going to these forms of technology as a means of escape. When they do have a hard time turning it off, or when they find themselves obsessively checking or feeling like they need to check to the detriment of other aspects of their life.
What is it about technology and these devices that make people be so connected?
I think one of the key turning points was when the technologies became fast enough to allow people to connect from a mobile device, whether it's an iPad or whether it's a cell phone, a smartphone, and when video games became online. It used to be that if you played a video game, you played it in your living room and you invited a friend over and you actually had some physical time with another friend in your house and you played the game. And also the games that we tended to play 20, 30 years ago had ends. And if you're a parent that says, I don't know anything about computers, you better learn some things about computers. The second thing is really think about, have a family meeting, talk with other family members about what you think is appropriate in terms of use. You know, at what age do we think it's okay for kids to have cell phones? What age is it okay for kids to have smartphones?
The experts recommend that adults learn to turn off their cell phones and computers during dinner and to make it a habit to unplug for some time when you get home from work. I am Marlene Peralta for Science and You.